Many of the cyclists making for central London from southeast London cross Blackheath and drop down through Greenwich Park. It's the best part of their journey, though it's spoiled by the granite-set channel which was deepened after the 2012 Olympics and became a hazard for cyclists. The shortest route to Westminster from here is through Greenwich town centre and along the A200. It's quicker and cheaper than going by train, and you always get a seat. But after leaving the park, the road conditions are pretty grim. Having very bad memories of this route in the 1980s, I chose a quiet time and a sunny day in September 2016 to find out what changes there had been. It didn't seem quite as bad as I remembered, so I tried it again in a morning rush hour on a grey day in October. This video uses clips from both rides, accelerated for much of the trip. A curious aspect of the route is the way it's mapped and managed. TfL are only responsible for the western section of the A200. The cycle route is classified with London Cycle Network numbers. It's mapped as LCN2 through Greenwich Park, then as LCN18 to Deptford Church Street, and then as LCN183 to Burney Spain Gardens on the South Bank. But the TfL Local Cycling Guide number 7 doesn't show the route at all, and nor is it used on the TfL Journey Planner for trips from Greenwich to Tower Bridge. Most of the maps which do show the route, like the Open Cycle Map, are created with OpenStreetMap data. It's open source and much more comprehensive than the data created by public bodies, including TfL and Sustrans. You could be forgiven for thinking that TfL doesn't want cyclists on the A200, but it was included in the 2015 Cycle Superhighway scheme and described as Route 4 Phase 1 from Deptford to the city. It was also on the 2010 Superhighways map. Now it just needs to be built as the first cycle superhighway in southeast London. Okay, let's get on with looking at the route. Greenwich Town Centre is a busy and attractive place, but a bottleneck for all road users. The council has run consultations on different traffic management schemes and decided not to implement any of them. Greenwich needs much better provision for cycling. As Jane Jacobs wrote, the attrition of automobiles by cities is probably the only means by which absolute numbers of vehicles can be cut down. A cycle lane along Nelson Road would reduce air pollution and let more people use the street space. I don't remember there being bus lanes on the A200 in the early 70s, but they're good for cyclists, except when a bus is overtaking you, blocking you, or squeezing past you. My impression is that there are already more cycle commuters than bus commuters on Jamaica Road and from there into London. If so, it'd be better to call it a cycle lane and let buses do the sharing. As everyone knows, cycling is healthy exercise, doesn't cause air pollution, doesn't make a noise, and doesn't aggravate climate change. Transport planners should not treat cyclists like hungry rats. There's a blue sign on the left here to the Thames cycle path, but no signs to LCN2 or Quiet Way 1, which are very close. The diagonal stripes in the middle of the road are probably here to reduce the weight on the bridge. Using the space for a cycle lane would have been a much better plan. Maybe they didn't mark a cycle path because they wanted to make an ultra-short bus lane on the other side of the bridge. The space between the road and the new blocks is plenty wide enough to have accommodated a cycle path. You need to be confident or rash not to be put off cycling by incidents like this. This is part of the London cycle network. Calling it a bus lane instead of a bus and bike lane is unfair and may encourage some bus drivers to defend their territory, to feel they own the space. Keeping taxis out of bus and bike lanes on the London cycle network would be fair. Phew! This man has a toddler between his body and the handlebars. Can anyone think it's wrong for him to ride on this wide and pedestrian-free footpath? A halt sign here would have encouraged the 4x4 not to push into the cycle path. There should be a rush hour cycle path going through these gates into Southwark Park. It's not busy at this time of day or in the evening rush hour. Look at the width of the cycle lane. Is this journey's end, or are cyclists supposed to get off and walk from here? There is one person at the bus stop, but we haven't passed a bus for ages. This is where the Southwark Park cycle route joins Jamaica Road. If I was designing a cycle lane, I wouldn't put gratings in it. Cyclists are either quick or dead. Look at the twin camcorders on the bike helmets. They're rumoured to cause good behaviour in motorists. Look at all those healthy legs. From this point onwards, there are more cyclists than drivers on the A200. The trees are most welcome, even if the air quality is abysmal. They're doing some work on Tower Bridge. Are they building a cycle lane? The next clip, taken before the work began, shows that it is needed. Five simple questions can be used to review and assess the A200 cycle route. 1. Is it the shortest cycle route from Blackheath to the Bank of England? Yes. Is the scenic and environmental quality good? No. Is it safe for children and adults to use? No. Is the surfacing material well maintained and good for cycling? No. Is the route sufficiently well marked to be used without a map? No. So the cycle route we have reviewed gets 1 star and emerges as a leading contender for the hotly contested title of Best Cycle Route from South East London to the City of London. If you've cycled this route, an Amazon-style assessment would be welcome on the LAA website. Comments are welcome too. Thank you.